Good evening in the next episode of Oppo Stories from the NBA. This time my guest is Maurice Ager. Hello, Maurice.
Hello, how you doing, man?
Very
What's
good.
going on?
Thank you very much for find time for me. It wasn't too easy to catch each other, but finally we've got it. And I saw now you are in Vietnam, in Hanoi. I saw also on your Instagram profile a picture that you were in Giza in Egypt. I guess that you are like traveling.
Yeah, that was before COVID, man. That was like at least I went to Egypt maybe a week before COVID hit, and I went to Saudi Arabia. I was in Saudi Arabia when COVID actually occurred. So yeah, I was on the pretty much in the Middle East, Africa, during that time. So I did a lot of traveling prior to COVID. I haven't really done much traveling at all since.
Okay. So after COVID, when do you plan when will be the next place you would like to visit?
Shoot, I don't know, bro. It's just like, I feel like it's a lot of things that's lined up. I have opportunities to do work, in many countries, you know what I'm saying? From Malaysia, Indonesia, Dubai, back in Egypt, like all over, bro. So it's just, I think sky's the limit right now. I think a lot of people are interested in, having my services and stuff like that. But, according to this, scenario right now, we kind of got to, play by ear and wait for the right time, man, and continue to use our patience, you know what I mean? Which is tough because we've been able to, travel and travel freely for so many years. So it's kind of a big adjustment to not to be able to like move around the way you want to, you know what I'm saying, without having to go through, a lot of hoops, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's actually a hassle to get back to Vietnam, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of money and paperwork. So it's almost not worth it at the time right now. So I'm just focused on building as much as I possibly can here and online right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you were a kid, before I will ask you about basketball in your life, do you also got the dream to one day travel through the whole world?
Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like I have, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's a lot of places I still want to be able to discover, you know what I'm saying, and see on this planet, you know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of wonderful things that I have to see, you know what I'm saying, in different countries. I haven't been to Japan. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I haven't necessarily been to like, places like Singapore and, there's a lot of places, man. There's so many things I want to do before, it's all over, man. So, just taking it one day at a time.
And when you were a kid, one of the dreams, as you said, was to travel around the world. And who was your favorite basketball player? And did basketball was something important in your life when you were a kid or youth?
My favorite basketball player growing up, I had a lot, you know what I'm saying? From Isaiah Thomas to Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Grant Hill, a lot of players, you know what I'm saying? Joe Dumars, I like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, of course. So I pretty much, grew up in the 90s for the most part, you know what I'm saying? I had a chance to be blessed enough to be able to witness, basketball in the 90s, which was pretty dynamic because there was so many different things that changed during the 90s, you know what I'm saying? You had the bad boy era in the early 90s, and then, you had the Bulls era. Then Allen Iverson comes in, he completely changed the game. So, I'm thankful to be able to have, watch that, you know what I'm saying? Because basketball has changed so much and it's evolved, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm happy about, just seeing things evolve in general. But, it was something about that 90s era that was pretty authentic, man. It was pretty genuine and, guys were a bit tougher, I think. I feel like it was a bit harder, during that time. I'm not saying it's hard now, but I do believe, to make it in that time, it was very, very, very slim. You know what I'm saying? I think, there's a lot more avenues for people to actually make it to not only the NBA, but, to be able to play professionally in different leagues and different leagues in America as well. You have G leagues and you have different, different leagues that, that have been set up. So I just think there's a lot of more opportunities to play ball. You know what I'm saying? You know, China is huge with basketball. Asia is growing every day with basketball. You know, even in here in Vietnam, you know, more and more kids are falling in love with basketball. So, you know, I'm happy to, you know, be a part of moving the sport forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When was the moment, or did you remember when you thought that it would be good to be a professional player? Was it from the beginning of your when you commit with the basketball, or was it in the high school or in the university?
I would have to say when I was first exposed, I was exposed to professional basketball when I was maybe 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? My brother, you know, he took me to a lot of Detroit Pistons games. So, you know, that's pretty much the standard at that time. That was the standard. It was like, okay, college basketball is great. College basketball is amazing, actually. But I think the standard itself was the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I learned that very early. And once I was able to go to games and watch it on TV and the feelings that I got just by watching some of my great, you know, some of these great players on TV, you know what I mean? It just, you know, it gave me no choice but to want to, you know, pursue, you know, the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, it was a clear-cut way of getting there. You know what I'm saying? You do well in high school, you get a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? You go to college for 4 years, and you get a chance to go to the NBA. Now it's so many different ways of getting there. You know what I'm saying? You know, guys are going overseas for a year after they get out of high school. Some guys they're getting ready to set up, you know, different leagues where kids can forfeit their last 2 years of high school and get paid to play ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, as we move into this new world, you know, we're going to see a lot of different things happen with, you know, how basketball is actually going to be received and how people are going to be able to use basketball as a platform and a way out, you know what I mean, to create more life for themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm. And in 2006, the Dallas Mavericks selected you with the 28th pick in NBA draft. And what was the most difficult during your rookie season when you appear in the league where you won from the childhood?
I just think the main thing is it was difficult because, you know, you come from college and you're kind of used to more of the family environment, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you go to the NBA where it's more so like, you know, everybody's grown, they got their own personal families. So it was a little bit more separate, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you have places like Michigan State, you know, we kind of thrive off of family environments, you know what I mean? So it's just, you know, making that adjustment from 4 years, always being around your teammates, eating with your teammates, going to the movies with your teammates. It was always pretty much tight knit to go into the NBA where it's kind of like, all right, you know, everybody go their separate ways at the practice. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily a tight unit like that. So it's just, I think that was one of the big adjustments for me. But other than that, man, it was just, you know, the NBA is just much more faster, you know, much higher quality of players, of course, you know what I'm saying? The rules are a bit different, you know what I'm saying? The court is a little bit longer. So it's just like, you know, everything's bigger in the NBA, man. But college was definitely, some people like college basketball more than NBA, you know what I'm saying? And I had a better basketball career in college than I did in the NBA. So, you know, so I enjoyed it all, man. You know, it was, I learned a lot, you know what I mean? I learned what I did like about it and I learned what I didn't like. So, you know, it helped me be able to make, you know, certain decisions moving forward in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that I was able to experience some dope things with basketball, you know. It led to a lot of other things as well.
Yes, that is this one of things which I'm curious that usually when you are drafted and selected by NBA team, you have to be star or the crucial player in the roster in your NCAA team. And when you came to NBA, not everyone could be a star from the beginning, from the first season. And how is it to when you came to the team? You, of course, if you are in the NBA, you put a lot of effort to be on the stage and to continue career in the NBA. So you've got the ego, you've got expectations, and you came to the team, and there are other players, and you two need to wait for your chance. And you were a backup for Jason Terry, and was it a relation like mentor-pupil? Did you learn from Jason Terry, and did he want to learn you how to play basketball, how to be a good player in the league?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's just, you know, you got to pay your dues. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody come out of college or high school, you know, like a LeBron James or Carmelo Anthony or these guys who are, you know, just automatic. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they got to the NBA, you know, I think a lot of players get put in certain circumstances that allow them to shine early on. You know, you have players who go to like, you know, teams where the record might not necessarily be as good, and they have a lot of time to actually work with that team and get better, and they play. You know, my situation was a bit different. You know, I went to a Dallas Maverick team who went to the finals the year before, you know what I'm saying? So they were really eager to get back, you know what I'm saying? So it was like they had a lot of vets. So it's like I had to kind of pay my dues and wait my turn, you know what I'm saying? You know, Jason Terry, Jerry Stackhouse, Josh Howard, you know, Greg Butler, you know, I had a lot of guys that were had 5, 6 to 7, 8 years on me. So it's like, you know, I had a chance to learn from them guys, you know, about basketball and, you know, life stuff. So, I think it was a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, a guy like Jason Terry, you know, he already had put in a lot of work. So it was just like, you know, and Coach Avery Johnson, he was an old school coach. So he was big on like, you know, earning your way and earning your keep. So it's like, he wasn't just going to allow me to come in and just, you know, I had to prove myself, you know, so, and that's all good, man. You know, I got mad respect for guys like Jason Terry and anybody who I played with at that point in time who were just, you know, just good guys, man. And, you know, and I saw how they worked. They worked really hard, and it showed me a lot.
Mm-hmm. And how do you remember cooperation with Dirk Nowitzki? He was a star. He was the leader of the team. How do you remember Dirk as a teammate and leader of the Mavericks?
Dirk, he was one of those guys who led by example, man. I feel like, you know, he always put in extra work, you know, before the games and after the games. After the games, you know, he'd go down there and you know, be in the gym, getting shots up with his shooting coach. So it's like Dirk was one of those guys who just led by example. You know, he wasn't really super vocal, but he definitely you know, showed you how it should be done. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? Tough guy. You know, he worked really hard, and great personality, man. You know, he's pretty down to earth. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a guy who cracked a lot of jokes. And, you know, he made the environment, you know, he made the environment light, you know what I'm saying? And it was a pleasure to be around him, man. I appreciate Dirk for sure.
Uh-huh. And what kind of the jokes and pranks do you remember from your rookie season, especially made by Dirk?
It was more, you know, he cracked jokes on the plane, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, when you have rookie duties, you know, you have to get food and stuff like that for the plane. And so, you know, he will always kind of like give us a bit of a hard time, you know, stuff like that. It wasn't nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm. In February 2008, you were traded to Nets. And how do you remember this? Did you expected this move, or it was you were shocked?
Nah, at that point, I wasn't really shocked about too much that went on in the NBA because I understood it as a business. I just looked at it as an opportunity to explore other cities. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps maybe give myself a chance to get more playing time and stuff like that. But it was cool. Going to New Jersey was great, man. I made a lot of great connections out in New York. So, like, once again, man, basketball is wonderful, man, and I never take away from it. But I really, truly use basketball as a way to explore other avenues of life. And just being in New York, you know what I mean? You have plenty of opportunities to do so. So that's how I looked at it, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I met some great teammates as well. You know, Vince is great. You know, Rod Thorne was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed him. Keon Dooling. Yeah, man. It was, you know, once again, it was just a good experience, man.
Mm-hmm. And after this episode with Nets, you played in Spain for a while. How do you remember the Spanish league and the main differences between NBA and European basketball?
At the time, I felt like it was geared more towards big men and just shooters. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't much room in between. You know what I mean? You know, I was a slasher. I was a guy who could shoot the three. Pretty cool mid-range game, but I got my a lot off by getting to the basket, and you know, in Spain, you know, they allow people to pretty much just camp in the lane. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if there's 3 seconds on defense, if I can remember properly. And, you know, a lot of times it's like, you know, they want you to come in all right away and get your rhythm, hit shots. I had a hard time with that because I'm kind of a rhythm player. You know, I'm one of those guys who got to get to the line and get fouled a couple of times, shoot free throws. But it's like, it was almost like driving to the basket was just pointless. You know what I'm saying? So that took away a large part of my game. And I just didn't really like the style of player during that time, you know. And then the club I was with, you know, they was dealing with a bunch of different things, you know, that was kind of out of my hands, and it just made it, you know, a bit more difficult to actually focus on the game. You know what I mean? Because you had other imports, passport issues, and then it was just a lot of, you know, funny business going on that I just didn't really want to be a part of no more. So, you know, I chose to go back to the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And you decided to sign with Minnesota Timberwolves. You played four games for them, and at this story with the Timberwolves, your time in the NBA stops. And did you try to come back to the NBA?
After I got released by the Timberwolves, I was good. I was ready to move forward in my life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a desire to chase that goal anymore. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. Like I don't feel like there's nothing to sugarcoat with that. I just feel like I just didn't have, you know, the true desire to want to actually continue in that world. I wanted to explore and do other things, and I'm happy about my decision. And just like any decision that's a difficult one, you're going to have to go through your tough times. And I realized that I was going to have to go through some very, very tough times by leaving the world where, you know, money is guaranteed and, you know, and stuff like that into, you know, entrepreneurship world. And, you know, but, you know what I mean? The things that I've learned on this journey, it wouldn't have happened if I didn't give myself the time to make that happen. So it's like, I'm always glad and happy about the decision I made in order to really seek life. And that's kind of how I felt about it. And that's how I still feel about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know. So how looks your life after NBA and basketball? I saw that you're a musician, right? And you are involved in hip hop.
Yeah. Grammy nominated musician, man. I'm very, very good at what I do as a musician. And I'm still building, you know what I'm saying, to get my name out there. You know, mm-hmm. I've done a lot of wonderful things. But, you know, I'm at a still point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to take things to the next level. But yeah. You know, music is great for me, man. I released a project a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. You know, I see you on my Instagram. And I have a lot of new music coming out, music videos and different things I want to do with music. And yeah, it's only the beginning when it comes to that music thing. But I'm actually ready to blow up with the music pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. And do you've got the feeling that your journey with the music give you the same emotions that it was a basketball? Is it only about the passion, or maybe you see that there is a chance for you to be in this business for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a rapper. I sing, you know, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I produce and I write. So, you know, with my skill set, you know, I can make music as long as I want, you know what I'm saying? It's not really a short-term thing for me. So yeah, I'm just really just honing in on some of the things that I know for a fact that's gonna give me longevity in music as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like basketball is always gonna be there for me in certain ways, you know, just even with my basketball academy, you know what I mean? That's you know, I'm gonna continue to grow and build. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, music is it's long term, man. And, as far as the passion, it's just different, man. I feel like music is something that was always in my soul and my heart, just because of my mom and my dad and you know, both of them being musicians. So I feel like, you know, it's just in my bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of me, bro. So I really can't even, you know, escape it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to continue to, you know, utilize the skills and the talents and make them a skill, and, you know, eventually use it to support myself and maybe inspire others, you know, while I'm at it.
Okay, so now I understand why the music appear in your life, that you've got the backgrounds in your parents. So now in Maurice Agar life, we've got the traveling, we've got music, and do you try also to mix this? And I've got some international projects with some musicians outside from the United States.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm working with plenty of artists here, and just in Asia alone. You know what I mean? Just some of the top artists here. I'm actually collabing with some artists and musicians out in Dubai. Obviously, I have works coming in from America. So yeah, I'm trying to cover as much base as much ground as I possibly can, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, by me being able to be free, I can do those things, Yeah.
And do you think that if on your table appears some opportunity and contract from some basketball team, not only maybe from NBA, but from the other European or worldwide league, you would consider to come back to basketball career, or it's just the closed period of your life?
I mean, I would consider maybe a weekend tournament or a week, something like that. But anything that is trying to basically anything that can, that devours majority of my time, I'm not really a fan of that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I got to dedicate 8 to 9 years to a team, it's just not what I'm willing to do at this point, because I'd rather put 8, 9 months towards my companies instead of somebody else rich. It's just like, that's just not where I'm at. But there's ways to still make money playing basketball. I've done it, you know what I'm saying? I've done tournaments and got paid for 5, 6 games and stuff like that. Short-term stuff, but I'm not really dedicating myself to anything that's long-term when it comes to playing. You know what I'm saying?
Maurice, thank you very much for your time, for Open Stories from the NBA. Talk about your basketball career, about your passions, about your life after NBA. I'm really happy that we've got opportunity to talk. So I hope that your projects, musician projects, will be successful in the future, and enjoy your time in Asia and in the next country or continent you plan to be after COVID-19 situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, cool, man. Keep me posted on when you're going to post the interview, and I'll share it on Facebook and stuff like that, and other sites.
Great. Thank you very much for this. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Okay, man. I appreciate it.
Goodbye.